The heir of the sky, king of the stars, awakens with the might of the ancients ringing in your blood. You are the chosen one who will carry on your forefathers' heritage. Their swords broke the stars, and their war cries rocked the universe. Now it's your turn. An empire rises from its ashes. A name etched in the sky awaits you. Your destiny is beckoning you. 777 in the comments. Set your sights on eternity and begin to control the silent change in the air. The slight change in look occurs when you enter the quiet tones that fade into stillness. Nothing escapes you. They have formed their own conclusions, murmured their own labels, and persuaded themselves that they must accept a certain story. You were expected to shrink under their scrutiny, to stumble under the weight of their skepticism, and to conform to the expectations they set. Instead, you climbed not via appealing, plots, or compromise, but by stepping into power that others cannot describe. And that scares them. They lived by a single rule. Control is stolen, not gained. They wield power via deception, move ahead by crushing others, and maneuver their way into places they want. So when they see you standing up and not playing their game, going ahead, or bowing to their will, they spiral. They strive to make sense of things. They change the tale. It must be a trick. They claim that it must be something strange. How could you have survived free of their control? Every attempt to trap you crumbled before them. Every effort to discredit you collapsed at their feet. They anticipated you'd stumble under their weight. Instead, they found themselves stumbling over their own mistakes. Desperate ocean takes hold. Their muttered machinations become furious. They say that something is working against them. Something invisible is protecting you. But the fact is far simpler. They never fought. It's just you. They were fighting something bigger than themselves. Something unyielding, something larger than their ambitions. Fear remains in their voices. They exchange eyes, looking for answers and waiting for a force to take them down. But you've never had to act. Their own decisions haunt them. They spun a web from which they cannot escape, uttered curses, and are now trapped by their own words. They dread you. But what genuinely bothers them is knowing that they created this on themselves. Just like a persistent river carves its way through old, unyielding rock. Persistent and divinely directed, your soul has grown in the fruitful soil of destiny. Growing above the limitations imposed by people who question your value. You are meant to stay uninformed, to obey their hollow statements without question, and to go through life in a cloud of forced ignorance about their true motivations. The indicators, however, were too bright, like a light cutting through the deep night clarity surrounding you. The patterns of life are too distinct. When the fundamental fabric of your reality transformed, you started to recognize individuals for who they actually were. Not just the polished masks they wore, or the perfectly planned parts they performed, but the raw, unpolished fury that lurked behind it all, the dishonesty, the ravenous need for dominance, the muted hatred smoldering in every action. In a civilization that relies on the appearance of control, many people are taught to feel that they must remain quiet. True strength is judged by one's ability to blend in and follow a script penned by invisible hands. They teach uniformity and submission, encouraging you to give up your spark so that you may securely drift down a predefined path. But you, dear one, have been selected for a destiny that goes well beyond just silent submission. Your inner vision has awoken to a greater purpose, one that resists the petty narratives manufactured by those who desperately want power and control. If you are experiencing an excess of divine love in your heart, now is the moment to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and donating $1 or more. This wonderful gift will affect not just your life, but also the souls of countless others. Each of you has a holy position in God's great purpose via this platform, and your giving will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your benefits to honor His kingdom. You were meant to do much bigger things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. There was a time when you were advised to reject your heart's delicate signals and avoid the bright messages concealed in ordinary interactions. Accept life's conditions without questioning the status quo. However, as the layers of deception fell away, You found yourself bathed in the radiant light of understanding life's intricate patterns. Moments of serendipity, subtle nudges from an unseen hand, and seraphic whispers in the silence of early dawn became unmistakable guides along your journey. You learnt to interpret holy signals as if they were scripture, with each one confirming that your path was divinely sanctioned and your energy a sealed witness to a greater force in action. Oh, how the world around you shuddered at the sight of such untamed truth. The forces that had strove to keep you caught in a web of ignorance and servitude could not comprehend the metamorphosis that had occurred in your spirit. Rather of submitting to the typical cycle of dread and uncertainty, you awoke with an inner fire that no earthly weapon or shrewd technique could ever quench. You are living evidence. The heavenly favor is not a fable, but rather a fact that emanates from your very nature and resists the cold mechanics of manipulation. Your story is a living sermon, proving that even in a society riddled with lies and hidden intentions, the light of truth can triumph. Many people in our world have been trained to perceive just the surface and evaluate primarily on looks and well-rehearsed routines. They fail to understand the deeper undercurrents of the quiet warfare conducted in the spiritual corridors. Quiet revolutions occur inside the heart. They expected you to be a passive victim of life's calamities, a shadow floating aimlessly in the background of their beautifully staged play. However, when you accept the clarity that only divine direction can bring, you unearth a truth so deep that it shatters the very basis of their delusions, revealing what they previously thought was concealed power. You recognized it as the expression of an unwavering spirit, bolstered by age-old knowledge and the gentle power of grace in every struggle and hardship. You found a way to transcend, to study and develop. The harsh criticisms and disdainful sneers of those who are skeptical have become nothing more than stepping stones on your way to success. You are not designed to fade into the background. You were meant to be a beacon in a stormy sea, directing lost people to the safe harbor of truth and hope. Each difficulty you overcome demonstrates the divine promise that you are protected by powers much greater than any human-created system. The path ahead may be difficult, but you march on with the assurance of someone who has been anointed by destiny and understands that every failure is but a prelude to an even greater victory. Like a massive ancient tree, its roots extending deep into the soil and its branches reaching boldly into the skies. You are powerful, nurtured by those who came before you, and destined to reach the sky. Remember that the road to enlightenment was never intended to be taken alone. With each stride, the knowledge of those who came before you flows through you, calming your soul and raising your heart. Their leadership is not a distant memory. It's alive and flows through you like a never-ending river, like a lighthouse that stands tall against the storm, its rays sliced through the darkness. You are led by something bigger than yourself, something old, unshakable. Their legacy is more than simply history. It is the fundamental foundation under your feet. The wind propels you ahead, the invisible hand that keeps you steady on rocky roads. They held firm in their faith, love, and unwavering perseverance. So you can stand today, and let me assure you, their power did not decrease when they left this world. No, it lives on in you. It passes through you like the air in your lungs and the blood in your veins. You are not traveling this route alone. They are there at peaceful times, in the silence of your heart. They are there in the wins, struggles, and breakthroughs. They are the whisper of encouragement. When uncertainty sneaks into the tight embrace, when the world seems heaviest. Because of them, your light will never wane. They will propel you to success. You'll conquer and hear this. Their presence isn't a whisper, lost in time. No, it's a powerful river of love and a force of protection. A light that will never go out in an otherwise gloomy planet. Your light will always shine because you were never supposed to stand alone in the face of those who would stymie your growth. Allow them to babble and shout in unsure voices. Their dissatisfaction is not a reflection of your value, but rather of their inner anguish. While they are trapped by their own insecurities and insatiable need for control, you have decided to live with a freeing belief. Their world, built on the shaky foundation of their own anxieties, cannot survive the power of a spirit that has realized its full potential. You have exceeded their restricted expectations. Today, as you stand on the verge of a new dawn, you are courageously entering a domain where grace and truth reign supreme. Let each pulse confirm the validity of your divine mission. Cherish the clarity that has lighted your path and let it lead you in times of uncertainty. There will always be some who attempt to dull your light, whispering about restrictions and cautioning you about the power you have. But know this, the very substance of your existence is strengthened by a love and a purpose that no worldly power can ever destroy. You are a living miracle, a shining example of the infinite generosity of a creator who loves and pouring rewards on people who dare to trust in their own remarkable destiny. You are supposed to remain oblivious and accept their remarks without inquiry, to go through life oblivious to their aims. But clarity found you. The indications were too obvious. The patterns are unmistakable. The whole globe tilted. You instantly saw them for what they were. Not the facades, not the rehearsed performances, but the raw energy beneath it. All the dishonesty, the desire for control, the quiet resentment in that moment. All the pretenses vanished, replaced by a profound recognition that your journey was a sacred calling, meticulously crafted by a hand that knows no bounds. Consider how a tiny seed hidden deep in the dirt challenges the darkness to sprout into vibrant life. That seed, fostered by invisible powers, grows into a towering tree, its branches extending ever higher in praise of the light that feeds it. Did you emerge from the fertile depths of doubt and repression to become a light of hope and rejuvenation in a world desperate for honesty and truth? Your vision, previously veiled by the illusions of a manipulative civilization, now shines with the brightness of divine purpose, a purpose that cannot be dimmed by the fleeting shadows of human malice. Your newfound understanding is not the consequence of a transient thought or an unintentional spark. It represents the culmination of a lifetime of events, the distilled knowledge of every challenge encountered and success claimed. It's as if a gentle breeze has blown away the layers of uncertainty that formerly surrounded your heart, leaving behind a bright awareness that vibrates with every beat of your spirit as you travel your chosen path each day. You are reminded of the fundamental fact that you are more than just a part of life's cosmic dance. You are the conductor of a divinely created symphony. Your every move is a note in that everlasting music, a harmonic demonstration of the power of love, faith, and unshakable belief. When the world's noise subsides to a distant hum, you may sense the steady beat of truth flowing inside you. It is a beat that resists the cacophony of false promises and shallow reassurances delivered by those seeking control via fear and deception. Instead, it tells of a promise as timeless as the stars themselves. You are valued, your path is fortunate, and your destiny is assured. This inner certainty, this unwavering confidence, lies at the heart of what it means to be divinely chosen. So, while you continue on this precious path, let your awareness shine like a lamp in the darkest darkness. Accept the knowledge that has been lovingly placed to you and allow it to guide your every action. Don't be persuaded by empty remarks or unsubstantiated accusations from people who haven't yet realized the reality. Their narrow perspective cannot fathom the limitless potential that exists inside you. It cannot darken the light of a soul anointed by a force much greater than theirs. Imagine your life as a huge oak tree, its roots firmly rooted in the rich soil of divine providence, and its branches soaring far into the skies. Bask in the warmth of everlasting grace. Just as the old tree stays strong through every storm, fed by unseen rivers and the light of a kindly sun, so is your fate preordained by a power much greater than any earthly force. May your days be filled with the comfort and knowledge that every decision you make is guided by spiritual wisdom. Every difficulty you face is a holy stepping stone to a higher destiny, and each moment of crystal clarity is a treasured gift from above. Dear brothers and sisters, May God's peace come upon you today. I'm here to remind you of a fundamental fact. Our existence is based on God's divine purpose and is unaffected by worldly worries. According to the Bible, everything is done with faith will be returned to God with great blessing. Luke, our roots, like those of the huge oak tree, are firmly entrenched in God's universal truth. His power secures every stride and every stance we take. And now you have the chance to be a part of that gift. When you utilize the super thank you button and give $, this movement will reward you 100-fold from the start of your trip. It was evident that you were set aside, a kid of destiny, created with purpose and surrounded by heavenly favor. Understanding that your life is not a random event, but rather a wonderfully designed plan by a loving creator who takes pleasure in every element of your existence, brings tremendous tranquility. This confidence is like a calm but unshakable river that flows through you and keeps you moving ahead, even when the winds of doubt and uncertainty attempt to sway you. Every hardship and hurdle you face is not a sign of misfortune, but rather a divine appointment, a time of metamorphosis that shapes your character and strengthens your soul. Instead of being characterized by the superficial judgments and ephemeral views of others who fear actual freedom, you are recognized for the illuminating truth that emanates from the very core of creation. You are a living example of the strength of faith, the tenacity of the human spirit, and the unwavering quest of truth that transcends the confines of the physical world. Walk confidently and without doubt, knowing you have been selected for a greater mission, a purpose that is engraved in the stars and woven into the fabric of your soul. Your spirit's beauty is a beacon of light capable of touching and influencing the lives of those who are lucky enough to see your path. This isn't just about personal accomplishment. It is about instilling hope in others, encouraging people who feel lost in the shadows of uncertainty to rise and accept the glorious destiny that awaits them at all times. Remember that heavenly favor is not a one-time gift, but rather a lasting mark on your life. You are encased in a protective cloak that no worldly power can ever penetrate. When the world appears to be filled with noise and distraction, take comfort in the peaceful assurance that your steps are calculated and your route is correct. The difficulties you confront, opportunities for advancement, each one teaches you lessons that lead to deeper understanding and greater insight. These experiences teach you the genuine meaning of persistence, of rising from each fall with a grateful heart and an unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. Consider the soothing, continuous light of a lighthouse, which brings tired seafarers home over stormy seas. That lighthouse is similar to the heavenly direction that you get on your path. It remains tall and steadfast in its purpose to guide you to safe harbor, even when the surrounding darkness seems impenetrable. Trust in that advice, knowing it comes from a source of limitless love and kindness. Let it be a continual reminder that you are never really alone, that every moment of clarity is a sign of the divine presence walking beside you. Your fate is not defined by the ephemeral judgments of a world that is often diluted by its own anxieties. You are considerably more than the sum of others' narrow perspectives. Instead, you are characterized by the transcendent truth that emanates from the heart of your being, a reality that speaks of resilience, purpose, and the divine light that is within you. Accept this reality totally, for it is the foundation of your identity. It is the Spirit's song, a melody that resonates deep within your soul, beckoning you to rise beyond the commonplace and into the amazing existence that has been planned for you in the fabric of life. Each thread is crafted with intentional attention, moments of delight, trials of suffering, and peaceful insights that occur in the calm of the night. They all act as markers along your spiritual journey. Each of these instances exemplifies God's infinite compassion and bountiful generosity. They serve as reminders that your path is about connection rather than alone. Connection to a higher power, a history of knowledge, and a community of hearts beating in sync with the rhythm of divine love. So go forth with the unflinching confidence of someone who has been anointed by grace. Let your walk be a live sermon, a daily statement of faith that encourages people to delve behind the surface and discover the wonderful truth that underpins all creation. In every interaction, every peaceful moment of thought, may you get fresh strength and a strong sense of purpose. For you are not here just to exist, but to thrive, to provide a shining example of what it means to live in accordance with the divine plan. As you continue your adventure, allow your heart to be light and your soul to be free of the burdens of those who wish to darken your shine. The judgments are only echoes of their own restricted scope. While you bear the dazzling light of divine truth, let your life be a constant testament of trust and hope. A reminder to everyone who crosses your way that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every sadness, a forerunner to pleasure, and every step forwards, a plunge toward a fate predetermined by love. May each day offer you the comforting confidence that you are precisely where you should be, enveloped in the tranquility of knowing that your existence is a treasured masterpiece, painstakingly made by the hands of a loving and always present Creator. Allow this conviction to fill your heart with delight and urge you onward, encouraging you to share the bright beauty of your soul with a world hungry for the transformational power of divine love. Walk boldly, with the courage of someone who understands that every minute, breath, and stride is a precious gift from above, a gift that allows you to create a future full of optimism, purpose, and limitless possibilities. And in this magnificent tapestry of life, each thread is stitched with care and thought. Remember that you are a monument to the astonishing power of divine favor. The route ahead of you is clear, your destiny is dazzling, and your legacy is secured by the steadfast light of truth and love. Embrace it, celebrate, and continue to shine, because the world awaits the manifestation of your remarkable spirit, a light of hope that will eternally shine through the darkness of ignorance and despair. You do not need to hear their admissions. You don't need validation. The truth beats underneath every word they say, lingers in the awkward stares they exchange. They misjudged what was guiding you. They saw your seclusion as weakness, unaware that you were never really alone. The invisible powers who walk with you have always known. They whispered, they warned, they shielded. And now, those who attempted to shatter you are left clutching at shadows, understanding too late that nothing they did would ever succeed. It's time to spread God's blessings by pressing the super thank you button on YouTube. You may support his goal and be a part of this holy mission by donating $1 or more. Every contribution symbolizes God's generosity, and I think it will return to you enormously, far above your expectations. Remember that his protection and blessing are with you every step and every contribution. You become a part of his divine plan. You are a powerful, dazzling entity, as solid as the massive rock that saw God's marvels. Feel the rewards of your kindness in your spirit, and light up the world with confidence and bravery. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord lead you. The walls of their assurance started to crumble. They groped for any explanation, seeking advice from those who claimed to see beyond the curtain in search of solutions that might offer them comfort. But each revelation just increased their fear. The fact was obvious. An unknown power protected your route. You were surrounded by energy that they couldn't approach. It was not manipulation. It wasn't an illusion. It couldn't be unwound. It was something they would never touch or control. But denial is a tremendous force. Their pride refused to give up. There must be another explanation. It could not be faked. It could not be divine alignment. So they created an alternative, one that made sense in their context. You must be using something unusual. They were taught to think that strength was taken, not provided. That strength stemmed from concealment, from concealed knowledge, from manipulating the invisible to one's will. The thought that it might be given freely without restrictions or transactions destroyed their thinking. They couldn't imagine a force beyond their control, a defense that no strategy could breach. So they distorted the tale till it matched their worries. If they couldn't control or explain you, you must have done something unlawful. It was simpler for them to believe in shadows than to acknowledge that not all power is based on lies. Let them pursue ghosts. Let them grumble amongst themselves. anxiously trying to make sense of something that was never theirs. Understand their doubts, their restless paranoia, and their desperate urge to define who you are. It is not your weight to bear. Their terror is only a reflection of the gravity of their own wrongdoings. You were never intended to be part of their framework, never intended to conform to their expectations. You were designed to interrupt the pattern, to bring light into areas they wanted to keep dark. Continue going ahead. Continue to embrace the knowledge that pours to you. Continue to respect the truth that leads you. No explanation is required. No defense is necessary. They don't fear you. They are afraid of the repercussions of their own decisions. Because no matter how hard they struggle, it will always reveal the shadows they attempted to hide behind.